did mention that you've been active in the Knights of Rizal or the Rizalist movement, particularly as part of the Knights of Rizal affiliation with them since 1987. How about, uh, ma'am, how did you end up being in the Las Damas?
How did I end up being the Las Damas? Okay, that's another story of my life, no? Actually, my first affiliation with women Rizalists was with the Kababaihan Rizalista. When the president was the mother of Vic Soto, Senator Soto also, Dr. Herminia Soto. I was their international secretary. Kasi the Kababaihan was already going international. So I was the secretary of the Kababaihan. I could not remember the year anymore. That was so long ago. And then I served hanggang kay Dr. Amparo Ocampo sa Kababaihan. And parang naging later on I got so busy with my academic work, and I started to a little bit drift away, no, from the organization because of my being very busy as an academician. But nakikita-kita pa rin kami paminsan-minsan sa mga doon sa mga activities ng Knights of Rizal. So from that time on until 2013, I had no affiliation with Kababaihang Rizalista anymore. However, when I retired, I went to Europe on a tour with my daughter and son-in-law. And when I stopped by Paris, France, I was invited by Sir Leo Mojica to stay with him, but definitely we declined the invitation. After a night, we moved to a hotel because hindi namin gustong makaabala sa mga tao. No? So we moved to a hotel, and then we never thought it, but Sir Leo pala, he arranged a party for us with the women who are in Paris. And so they invited us for a despedida party in the house of Serges Sunga, no, of Paris, also a Knights of Rizal, and Lady Vicky Rivera. Doon kami nagpunta. And so that started our friendship. And present there was Lady Lina Brosas, the president of the Las Damas de Rizal. Walang ano yan, basta sila lang, nagtayo lang sila doon ng Las Damas de Rizal. And I thought, if they have a Las Damas de Rizal in Paris, what am I doing with myself? I have no woman organization in the Philippines that I can work with in still propagating the ideals of Dr. Jose Rizal. And so when I arrived in the Philippines, sabi ko, bago ako umalis ng Paris, sabi ko kay Lady Lina Brosas, I will be putting up, organizing a Las Damas de Rizal, Philippines. And so, tuwang-tuwa siya. So pagdapli ko dito, I started to organize it, and presto, ayan na, lumaki na kami ng lumaki dito sa Pilipinas. And then, the Las Damas de Rizal, Philippines, we have been very, very active. What tawag mo doon? Coordinating or joint effort. So, pagdating dito, I told Sir Regis, kasi Sir Regis Romero, who is a very good friend, not only of me, but my family, my children, no? He has been prodding me even before I went to Paris. Ami, you organize a woman organization. He would be telling me that every now and then. Umingiti lang ako. But when I came back, sabi ko, Sir Regis, I'm going to organize an organization of Las Damas de Rizal, Philippines. Kasi bakit meron sa Paris, meron sa Belgium, bakit wala dito? So, na-organize ko siya. At ngayon, meron na kaming mga different chapters in the Philippines. However, because iba kasi itong Las Damas eh. Ang Las Damas kasi ay hindi kami nagpapakialaman doon sa ginagawa ng bawat isang Las Damas sa iba-ibang bansa. They are independent. We are only united in our advocacy na nandoon sa aming very almost unified constitution in our advocacy of unifying women, Filipino women, both residing in the Philippines and in other countries, as well as foreign women. We do not close our door to the inclusion of foreign women who also believe in the ideals and teachings of Dr. Jose Rizal. Kaya nga nung nagkaroon tayo ng we have a fight rather, we have a fight or a battle against the Torre de Manila. If you remember that, Alwin, the Torre de Manila na, which destroyed the sightline of the Rizal Monument, the Las Damas de Rizal were with the Knights of Rizal who filed a case in court. No, kasama akong nag-file ng ano doon sa korte. Of course, we lost the battle, but nevertheless, even if we lost the battle, we would say that, as Rizal stated in one of his novels, I think it's Anonymous here, na sa pamamagitan ni Filosofo Tasio, not everybody is sleeping during our time. Even outside of the Philippines, we seem to be disunited as a people. And we do not like that. Kaya ang amin dito, anumang organisasyon ng babae na nagmamahal kay Rizal, nagtuturo ng kay Rizal ng mga ideals and teaching, we are friends with them. We are not competitors. We are not competing with one another. But we are trying to assist, to help, and to uplift every organization, because if you are working for the Filipinos and you are working for the heritage and culture and ideals and teachings of our hero, therefore, ang jealousy, ang paligsahan should not have a place. We have decided just very recently in a talk with kung baga tumatayo na nga nag-umpisa ng Las Damas si Lina Brosas eh. Kaya kinikilala ko siya na you are the first to introduce Las Damas. Hindi ko naman naisip yan if I did not meet you sa Paris. So naisip yan because of you. So I always recognize her. At every project na mayroon ako kasama ang mga Las Damas ng iba't ibang bansa. And so nabuo namin yung very coherent and very strong band. Kaya sabi ko, why don't we federate? Why don't we federate? Las Damas de Rizal, parang nag-federate na kami. At pag magtayo ka ngayon ng Las Damas, ang ano mo, susulat ka na, sabi ko, since you were the one who originally started the Las Damas, you should be the chairman of this federation, no? And I would be soon relinquishing my position as the president of Las Damas Philippines. Kung mamarapatin nyo, kasi ang problema ninyo, wala kayong opisina, wala kayong hindi kayo makapag-asikaso, I will be your executive director. We want the Las Damas to move freely. Wag lang silang, they should not only go outside of the boundary of what is legal, what is right, what is ethical, what is proper. Yun lang ang pinakaano namin. So we are not, because that was what Rizal was fighting for during his time. The equality, the existence of peace and order in our country and in the world, because he had stated earlier, time would come when nationalism would no longer be something that everybody would be mouthing about, but we will be citizens of the world. Something like that, no? Justice, katarungan, and respect for the rights of individuals. These are all embodied in the ideals of Dr. Jose Rizal. So this organization will operate along those particular values that we hold dear to our hearts. Whether you are a Filipino or you are a foreigner, these are the values, international values that must have to be ingrained in the hearts and minds of everybody, men and women alike, children and young men, young women alike.
Do you think that this this organizational setup, being federation, being chapters being independent from other chapters outside the confines of their organization, do you think maybe that might be one of the key in preventing issues in organizational strife?
I have that in mind, no? I have that in mind that ang nagiging reason kasi, from my point of view, why nagkakaroon sila ng splitting, no? Nagkakaroon sila ng divisiveness is because pag masyadong pakialamera, masyadong pakialamero sa ginagawa ng organisasyon. As I stated earlier, as long as they would confine their moves or their actions to what is proper, to what is legal, to what is in the Constitution, walang dapat maging problema. Dapat ganun ang mindset natin. And I believe kung ganito ang gagawin, kasi dito sa aming federation pag magtatayo ang ano lang namin, magtatayo kayo ng chapter, magtatayo kayo ng halimbawa, kayo diyan sa Ohio, Las Damas de Rizal, Ohio. 'Yon, no? So wala na, hindi namin kayo didiktahan what are you going to do, etc. But ang hihingi lang namin ay you ask the permission of the federation for you to organize a country or a state ng Las Damas. So wala, hindi namin, wag lang kayong mamimera, no? Yun ang isa na, wag kayong mamimera. Basta kung meron man kayong mga koleksyon, malinaw na nakahata, di ba? Ganun ba? So walang, I believe this will be the key. Yung sabi mo, the key for us to be united. Let us not be too dictatorial on our people working for something that is also noble.
Now, ma'am, I know that when Jose Rizal was in Europe the second time around, he wrote the Philippines a Century Hence, and a part of his I don't know, premonition or his visions of the future was that the Philippines will be federal form. Did this have anything to do with your decision to having this kind of organizational
Well,
structure, or not? Or not really?
not really. Kasi ako inaaral ko. And I am being assisted by a son-in-law who has finished law. So, naisip ko, tinanong ko siya, if we suggest, kung mag-meeting kami at sabihin namin, mag-federate kami, would it not be would it be proper for us? Sabi niya, maganda yan, mami. So with that starting point na maganda yan, mami, I was not thinking then of the federation na vision ni Rizal Siguro, ngayon ko lang naisip yon. But ang nasa isip ko lang talaga, since napaka-strong ng aming band, ng mga iba-iba sa Brussels, sa Monaco, sa Prague, sa Paris, ngayon magtatayo si Ambassador Gary sa New Zealand. We have a very strong band as women. Nakakatuwa yung band namin. Kaya sabi ko, mag-federate tayo, magtulungan tayong lalo. And very open naman sila sa idea na gano'n. So I think natutupad namin in a way the vision of Dr. Rizal. And I hope the country also will be able to realize the idea of federalism, if this will only be the way to solve the problems now affecting our countrymen.
And another thing too, I think the gist of Rizal being an international man if I could. You know,
Yes,
it's reflected in your vision too in the organization, reflected in your constitution, that there's an equality, there's linkages, just like Rizal. Everywhere he went, he tried to network through Professor Blumentritt where he was introduced with European men of stature, and also with his own associations in the propaganda movement.
yes.
Talagang he really networked, and that is very nice to know that your organization is, in a way, the spirit of Rizal's being an international man is well represented in a way. Ma'am, do you think that in this organization, the Las Damas, do you think what do you look forward to when you have of course now you have Zoom meetings, maybe, or virtual meetings? What do you look forward to in this organization? What is your what makes you excited with the Las Damas organization?
Well, what makes me excited with the Las Damas organization? Um, the first thing that makes me excited is the honesty, no, the honesty, the humility, and the eagerness of the women there in other countries to really come together. Kung if not for the pandemic, talagang they are very active going from one country, one place to another in order to attend meetings or in order to put up programs, cultural programs, something like that. But the pandemic cut short their being always together physically. But it did not. Sabi ko nga sa kanila, it will not, the pandemic should not put an end to our activities. So last year, monthly, meron kaming series of webinars. Iba-iba yan. Which nandoon ang mga iba-ibang Las Damas mula sa Europa. Tapos andito, kami lang sa Pilipinas ang nag-organize tapos kinuko kino kin, kin ano ba ang tawag mo, kino-coordinate namin sa kanila. So, naging napakaganda, tuwang-tuwa sila, and that definitely banded us, our band became stronger. So yun yung mga those things make me very big, very dynamic as the one of heading the organization in the Philippines. And so yun yung una kong nakikitang with gives me the inspiration, the humility, the eagerness, and the ano pa ba isa ko binanggit, the honesty of these people, no, na nandiyan, the time, no, the time that they spend kahit na minsan uh, I have the tendency to call them in the evening, and then they are working, no? But kahit na minsan nagtatabaho sila, nakaganon sila sa telepono, and
Aba.
we are conversing. So nakita ko yung the enthusiasm of these people. And also, Alwin, isang nakatat sa puso ko. Nandito pa sa akin yung kopya ng form na yon. When I attended the nighting in Rome with Sir Leo Mojica, na-invite doon yung ibang mga sa Italy, na-invite yung nanggaling pa sila sa napakalayong lugar ng Italy, how many hours they traveled, just to be in Rome for the June 19, 2013 commemoration of the birth anniversary of Rizal. I think mga 10 women, they came in Rome, traveling almost 7 hours. That was sacrifice.
Yes.
They left their job just for our national hero. And when one of these women recited a poem, it really touched my heart. And I asked her, can I have a copy of that poem you have read, you have composed and read? And I would include that in one of the books that I am going to have to publish later on. So inaayos ko lang yon, isasama ko yon. It really
Opo.
touched me. That kind of dedication, that kind of commitment, it was something na nandun sa isip ko, nasa puso ko, and I admire our women, our Filipino women na ganun ka-dedicated. So may malaki talagang may malaking hila sa akin itong organisasyon na ito.